Well, good afternoon, West Ham fans. It's Monday, so it's time for the Russy Rumour Roundup. So he didn't come home last night. Oh, well, what a surprise. Only 56 years. Might as well wait a few more, make it around 60 for the Euros in 2028. Anyway, doesn't matter what's coming home. What's coming home is West Ham. Obviously, they are playing their first friendly, pre-season friendly today. It'll be on their YouTube channel and stuff like that. So check it out. Obviously, we know that all the international players aren't going to be featured. But the likes of Kudus is back and has been training for the last few days. Agaird's there. So it'll be interesting to see what Julien does with that. So keep an eye on that. But it's Monday. The Euros are finished. The Copa America has finished. And so it's all go, apparently. Calvert-Lewin reported today that West Ham are expecting some movement in the transfer market this week. Hopefully. All eyes obviously on today's the game against Ferencváros. That's definitely how you pronounce it. But we know that a lot of movement, a lot of transfer discussion was being waiting until after the major tournaments have finished. Although at the under 19s Euros are going to be kicking off soon, I believe, with a couple of West Ham peeps in the being represented there, particularly Josh Briggs, under 19s, Northern Ireland international. But anyway, according to Clarence Hughes' top source, late last night, they appear to be saying we're looking everywhere, but centre forward is the priority. So, and we've got a lot to get through as per usual. Anyone new to the channel, what we do on a Monday is rather than you having to scour all the gossip pages and ITK posts and all that, we do it for you and present back, the key rumours, but also give you our take on them. Now, as I always have to say, we are not, warning, we are not assuming that we are signing all of these players, or even any of these players, really, but they are rumours that have been reported in the mainstream media, and so we discuss them, and the same way you discuss them down the pub, and that's what we do, really. And I mean, actually, we know that's not the case because we actually keep a track of all the players that we've been linked with, and I think we've hit our record from last year. I need to go back and check. Anyway, let's crack on like Donkey Kong and talk about the first one. Been a lot of interest around Steven Bergwijn again. Obviously, he was let's go full screen. He was the sort of flavour of the month come January. One of the players we apparently Moyes was presented with and said no. Now it looks like we could be back in for him. The Ajax manager, Francesco Farioli, accepts the club may have to sell Bergwijn amid interest from West Ham, according to news outlets. Dutch newspaper De Telegraaf reported yesterday that he has big plans for the wing of the next season, but understands the 26-year-old is one of the only players at the club to hold any significant transfer fee. Apparently, Ajax would be looking for about 20 to 25 million pounds if they were to sell the 26-year-old. It is understood the Hammers have previously registered their interest in Bergwijn and would obviously maybe interested in coming back. He adds that Bergwijn had recent talks with Farioli and he's pondering his next career move. Obviously, we have a very good relationship with Ajax, having signed Kudus, having signed Edson Alvarez. Obviously, we were linked also with Josip Soule, the Croatian centre-half as well. Now, there's this report, then further reports say that he's had talks, and other reports has said that actually they're wide the mark. Clarence Hughes, for example, although there's speculation hanging around the West Ham for Bergwijn's signature, it does seem that the Saudi Pro League are also interested, and that's a regular occurrence for a lot of our transfer targets today. We talk about today, to be honest. Apparently, West Ham have little or no interest in the player, or maybe we're just playing possum. Who knows? I've always thought he'd be a good player for us. I really thought he'd be a good player for us. 26, decent age, although I don't think there's that much spec. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. In terms of, I think we might go for a younger target, in all honesty. Let's talk about centre half. Let's talk about the Red Bull Salzburg centre half, Oumar Soule. Now, according to Salzburg Nachrichten on their website, they said that the news outlet reports that the defender is 100% certain to leave the Austrian club this summer, with a move expected in the next few weeks. And apparently West Ham are one club to have made contact about a deal alongside Roma and Wolfsburg for the 24-year-old. He's had a great time at Salzburg, very impressive. And it's been mooted for a long time that a move to a big European club is on the cards. And it could be to West Ham. Apparently he's issued a come get me plea, but according to some reports, but I don't really think it was, to be honest. But anyway, I think, good age. He wouldn't cost Kilman money. That makes sense. And I think the RUSSY Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, I've given it a 6 out of 10. Who's next? Let's talk about Jota Silva. Now, obviously, again, someone who at the beginning of the transfer window, and I appreciate it's only been literally a month, it's been officially open. Someone we were presented with as a real potential left wingers coming in, basically, from Vitória de Guimarães, the Portuguese winger. Wasn't called up to the Portuguese side for the 24-year-old, and it was led to be believed that we'd agreed personal terms with him already, with a release clause around £17 million. However, it did seem West Ham were like, I don't think we still want to pay 70 million quid for you, because you've got a year, you're coming to your contract's not that long now. Trying to negotiate something a bit cheaper, potentially. But according to Roshane Thomas from The Athletic, friend of the channel, he said the move now looks unlikely after the deal to sign Luis Guilherme and his impressive display in pre-season. Also, Max Cornet apparently is impressing as well, the likes of Julien. He reported on Saturday, I think it was, the Brazilian's arrival appears to have superseded signing his Portuguese counterpart. And now West Ham are moving on to looking at the centre forward position, which goes along with what Claret and Hugh were saying. Now, it was back in June, early June, that Jota Silva was said to be keen on the move to West Ham, but Turkey looks like may have just entered the affray with interest from Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce for the 24-year-old. So, I've fancied a Portuguese player, to be honest, but I've given it a 3 out of 10 because it has gone very, very quiet. But sometimes we don't know, in all honesty, whether he could be plan B if plan A doesn't come off, maybe. I don't know. Let's talk about one person who could be plan A, Matias Soule. Lots of reports about him and interest, not just from West Ham, but lots of other places. Saudi clubs apparently willing to do crazy things to sign him, whatever that means, ahead of West Ham, according to Casa Mercato. They wrote on the website that the Serie A Giants are hoping to earn around £30 million for Soule this summer after an excellent loan spell at Frosinone last season. The Hammers are one of several clubs interested in the deal, but appear to be a little behind the others, apparently, in the race, with the Saudi Pro Leagues clubs ready to go crazy just to have him as part of their league. Obviously, when it comes to a bidding war, we haven't got a chance. But it comes down to the player, really, and also Juventus, really. They obviously want to get the most money out of him. I mean, apparently Roma are also interested in signing him, according to Gazzetta dello Sport. Yesterday they reported that in their print edition, and they said that the attacking midfielder in terms of Matias is the most imminent departure from Juventus this summer. Leicester are also interested in him, apparently, as and pondering whether to relaunch their interest in him. But Gazzetta said West Ham and Roma are also studying the deal. So there's lots of people interested in him, which is unsurprising. He's a bloody good player and had a fantastic loan spell. But the RUSSY Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, gives him a Lamar. I give him a Lamar. I give him a 50-50 on that. Just because when the letters SPL turn up, players' heads move. Despite the fact he's of a young age, he could earn 4 times as much as he'd probably, 5 times as much. Really, he can name his price really in terms of salary, and so it's about aspirations, really, isn't it? Whether someone wants to go for the money, it is a job, or will they want to win something, or maybe they want to go and play in the best league in the world, the Premier League. He's played in Serie A. He might want to stay at Roma. Might want to move to Roma and stay in Serie A for another season or so. We don't know. But it does seem things are starting to gather pace. All these rumours are starting to gather pace with more people, and I think it's only going to be accelerated over the next couple of weeks, particularly as clubs start doing pre-seasons and, God forbid, touch wood, we won't get any injuries, but people get injuries and stuff like that, and people move and people start collating their squads and seeing what they need to bring in to comply with quotas and stuff. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, that's for sure. Next up, let's talk about Jackson Tchatchoua. That's definitely not how you pronounce it. Jackson Tchatchoua. That would do. Now, we spoke about him before at the Hellas Verona right back. Apparently, we're ready to rival Everton to signing him. That's according to Gazzetta dello Sport. West Ham, the latest Premier League team to show an interest in Jackson. 22-year-old Serie A fullback already has Everton apparently chasing his signature, and the Hammers entering the fray for him will keep Hellas Verona confident of achieving their €8 million selling price, which is an absolute bargain. He signed from the Belgian Pro League for around £3 million, €3 million rather, and he's had an impressive first season for Italy for Hellas Verona. Now, for me, he comes in. We're in the market for right back. We know that, and he's very much a value-based signing. He's someone you're going to pick up for less than £10 million, and automatically you've made your money on him because you're selling from a Premier League club. He's an absolute unit of a man. He's 22 as well, so good age, and a bit of a punt in it. It's punt money. 10 million quid's like punt money now. It's ridiculous to say that, but it really is now. That's what you can get for an average Championship player. So he's a really, really good bargain apparently. But I'm going to give him a Lamar 50-50 because I don't. It might be a case where we get 2 full right backs in. I don't think he comes in and he's our first choice right back to start off with. 22 as well. So I think it's going to be this gentleman, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. According to reports, he wants to move back to London amid interest from West Ham. He prefers to move to the capital if he's going to leave Old Trafford, where he's got 1 year left in his contract. Again, I've been talking about this is our transfer policy, looking at players who are entering the final year of their contract to get some real bargains. He's apparently Crystal Palace's former side have reportedly not shown an interest in him. And the England international isn't in favour of a switch to Turkey, with Galatasaray also interested in him, apparently. Although that might mean a knock-on effect. If we got Aaron in, that might mean that Soule goes to Galatasaray because they were obviously interested in him as well. Apparently, there's been no talks at Old Trafford about a new deal. So it looks like the ideal time for all sides to do a deal. One report suggested a fee of around £15 to £17 million is being touted. Why is he not in a West Ham shirt now? If you can get Aaron Wan-Bissaka for £15 million, why is he not in a West Ham shirt now? Do you know what I mean? That's, for me, it seems an absolute no-brainer. And arguably, I probably prefer him to Kyle Walker-Peters. Kyle Walker-Peters has a great ability to play left and right side. That's what he can do. But I think Aaron is an out-and-out right back and England international. And I think if you get him for £15 million, that's ridiculous value, in my opinion. That's why I've given him a 7 out of 10. Could see this one happening. Right, who's next? Let's talk about Wesley. We've got to talk about Wesley. We always talk about Wesley. We don't talk about Bruno. No. But we talk about Wesley. Also, we know Tim is flown to Brazil. Remains intent on signing the Corinthians forward Wesley Gassova. That's according to the Sunday Mirror. They reported yesterday in their print edition that the Hammers is determined to land the 19-year-old signature. We know he's flown to Brazil and a bit of interest from other top sides are looking at him. His market value is around 25 million quid. We know that Porto, was it Porto? I think so. Put in a bid of around £8 million plus 2 players. Now, the Corinthian star is one of the hottest talents coming out of South America. And, for 25 million quid seems a reasonable price, although very similar to Luis Guilherme. And you buy him, still buy him for potential. Yes, he is one of the hottest talents, but he's still only a young lad. He's still 19, still got plenty of years to develop. Although when you saw Lamine Jamal yesterday, 17 now, sorry, mental. I still think we'll get him, but I don't think we'll get him for the start of the season. I think Corinthians will want to keep hold of him until the end of the Brazilian Serie A. So I think it'd be a shrewd buy to get him now, load him back, and then get him in January when we need that bop. We need that extra pip in our step. Particularly maybe for a very good Premier League season and getting back into Europe, hopefully. He would give us that extra boost, like already set up. And he'd have had a decent season behind him for Corinthians. Obviously, there's a risk, could get injured and things like that, but I think it might be a good idea to do that. I think, but I don't know. Maybe. The RUSSY Rumor rating, the original room rating, I give Wesley 6 out of 10. And next, Scott McTOMINAY. Jesus. Now, that's what I call transfer rumours. It's a compilation. All the greatest hits. Now, according to a report from Lenny Akti Gassitesi, it says that West Ham and Galatasaray, why is Galatasaray after everyone, are interested in the 27-year-old Manchester United centre midfielder. It isn't the first time, obviously, we've been linked to him. And obviously, they formally rejected an approach we made last year. McTOMINAY, I think, no, running joke amongst us all, isn't it? 27. I just don't see how any profile, any type of player he would fit in terms of the type of player that Tim's after. Because arguably we'd have probably got him last year if Tim really wanted him, in all honesty. And so, yeah, I mean, he scored 7 times in 8 starts, 14 appearances, 32 games. I just don't see it. Do not see it. Sorry, Yeni Akti Gazi Tessie. No way, Jose. Maybe we'll go to Jose Mourinho. 3 out of 10. I haven't done a 3 for ages. Another blast in the past. The Fiorentina defender, Nikola Milenkovic. Apparently, we want to sign the 6'5" giant. We're apparently back in the hunt for him, according to a report from Tuta Mercato Web. West Ham have shown interest in long-term target Nikola Milenkovic. I mean, stunning signing. I've always, obviously, apparently he was in Canary Wharf. Do you remember him that time? Him and Kilman as a partnership. Fucking hell. He was great for Laviola last season. Extraordinary centre back. For me, he's an elite level centre half. And I mean, he's only 24. That can't be right. Is he 24? Is he 24? Let's make a check. Let's Google it. Nikola Milenkovic. Is he only 24? No, he's not. He's 26. Idiot. 26, but good age. Kilman's 27, 26. We bought Zuma and again at 27-ish, 27, 28. So it's getting the profile of the club, the players a little bit younger. But I think, him and Kilman as a two, fucking, that'd be brilliant. Averages 1.2 tackles a game, 2.6 clearances. He's won on average 3.3 aerial duels, and apparently Nottingham Forest are also interested in him. And maybe Steindl can succeed where Dave Moyes failed in terms of bringing Nikola to West Ham. The Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, give it a Lamar because I don't know, but I'd love him. I would love him at West Ham. I really would. I think he's the sort of for me, he's like the. I always think we haven't, West Ham haven't had like a Vidic type player, like a proper Eastern European, like centre half, Burley. I mean, like Thomas Repka, but without the, you know what I mean? I think a real hard man. I think Milenkovic would be the type of player who West Ham fans would really take to because he's a real player. And we like a player, don't we? We haven't player for a while, haven't we? Anyway, let's crack on like Donkey Kong and talk about, lastly, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. What is it of us and interested in English injured strikers? Apparently, we have made an inquiry about potentially signing him. We're in the hunt for a new centre half, as we said before, rather, and apparently he has been shortlisted. 27, failed to come to terms with a new deal at Goodison Park, and so his contract expires next summer. Newcastle also retained their interest in the striker, despite seeing talks with Everton collapse at the beginning of July. He joined Everton in 2006 for £1.5 million from Sheffield United. He's gone on to make 247 appearances, scoring only 68 goals. Last year, he found the net 7 times in 32 games and scored 2 in 17 the season before. Obviously, we know he's had a string of injury issues and he's missed over almost 100 games during his 8 years at Everton, raising questions about long-term availability, particularly if you're looking at replacing him with Mikel Antonio, for example. He would possibly be aimed at will be available for a cut price deal, as he has only 1 year left in his contract. But no, on his day, fantastic player. But I think there's better options out there. There's better options out there if they will come to West Ham. That's what we all say. Oh, we should go out and buy this guy. We should go out and buy this guy. It takes 2 to transfer. It takes 3 to transfer: the player, the club, and West Ham. And if we don't like him, he's not going. If the club don't want to sell him, we're not getting him. If the player don't want to come, we're not getting him. So all those things have to be all green ticked. And I just think, just can't see it, mate. Just can't see it. The Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, I give it a 4 out of 10. Because you never know. We might be a situation come the end of the transfer window that we have to bring in an English player, and if it's a striker, that'll be better. And then someone like Dominic or someone like Callum Wilson at a cut price deal. You could see it happening for sure. Now, let's have a look at the list. We are up 106. Now, I've tried my best to take off the ones who've signed for someone. I may well have missed 1 or 2. Don't worry, I'm going to do it again towards the end of the week. But 164 players, which I think is exactly what we were linked with last year, which is why we always say we're not saying we're signing these players. It's just that we keep them as a running total. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very, very much for your time. If you were following our socials yesterday, you would have seen we started our Sunday scavenger hunt. I said hunt. With our friends at Alloy Collectors, dropping off these little beauties at various West Ham themed locations. Yesterday we were at the 66 statue, which I thought was quite timely. But obviously it's still the last time we won a major tournament in England. Left one there, and then we left one at the Bonzo and Trevor Brooking mural at the side of Urcans, there. And so, and actually someone found that one and posted it. Keep an eye on the channel for next Sunday, this Sunday coming. Where could we be? And for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing that as well. So something to keep an eye out on the for Sunday, around East London, of course, because I'm not travelling. And it's West Ham, isn't it? It's West Ham related. But the only way you can make sure is by watching all our socials, keeping on top of our Twitter and TikTok and the YouTube channel as well. But it's usually on Twitter and TikTok will be the first port of call, and Instagram as well. But until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on, you bloody, bloody, bloody Irons.